Hello everyone, sanibonani, dumelang. My name is Xixx. I'm a ceramic artist. I've been doing ceramics for over 30 years, almost about 38 years. So today I will be showing you how to throw on the wheel and also how to turn and to decorate. Thank you. When you start throwing, the first thing you have to prepare your clay, and then after preparing your clay, and then you can start to throw. So I will show you how I prepare my clay, because your clay needs to be wedged. You wedge it a little bit so that it's all the same. So this is how you do it. First you cut it into small pieces like this, and then you start wedging your clay. By doing like this, I want my clay to be even. It must be even, and also when wedging, you make sure that where you wedge or your tablecloth is wet, so that it doesn't take the moisture out of your clay. So if it is dry, then you can just take a wet sponge and then you just wet it. So this is how I prepare my clay. And also, it's like you are exercising. You're exercising. At the end of the day, you have strong hands. So I've finished preparing my clay. So I've made almost about 7 balls. So I want to make some balls. So I'll make 7. And then I'll continue with those until I finish them, so that I can show you how to turn them and also how to decorate, depending on what decoration you can think of. Thank you. Always, you have to wipe where you put your clay. It must be moisture, so that your clay will always be moisturized. It won't get hard. So that's how I do. So I'll have to do the throwing now. To look for my bats, I will use this. Yeah. Always when you start, you take your clay and then you have to center it. First, you center your clay. You center your clay first. Take it up and down for a couple of times, and then When your clay is centered, and then you can start to throw. So as I said, I'm making some bowls. I open. So when you open your clay like this, first you compress your base. You compress your base so that you don't get the S crack. Normally when you don't compress, you get an S crack. So you press and then you can pull your clay up. This is how I do it. And then after that, then Toma with a shape. It's a shape depending kuri kinyaga shape byang mara. No kitano, it's just an ordinary shape, an ordinary bowl. Always how Toma obopa mumchini. Always you must have an idea of what you want to make so that it will be easy for you. Also, even your clay, litsupa la hao o tla kgona ho bona hore okay, o tla berekisa litsupa le kana like this. Fade it. And then I cut. Always so you cut it and then we are go to, and then okay, then we still this is the still the same technique. You throw clay out and then you center your clay. You center clay out, and then after that, bravo. It's the same. Or compress the base, riska crack. Again, you pull up, and then washi. Ki routine o tshwanetse hore ha o bopa, you must have a routine. Oh, okay. From here, just like that. This is done. Yeah, this is my last one. So what I will do is that I will wait until they're dry. They must be leather dry so that tomorrow I'll be doing the tanning, and then after doing the tanning, then I'll show you some decorations, different kinds of decorations Some you scratch, some you print, some you just paint. So I will show you tomorrow when I have finished turning them, when they are leather hard. Okay, today these balls are dry. They are leather hard, nice. So I've just finished drinking my coffee. That's what I do every morning before I start to work. And then now I will show you how to do the turning. Always, when you turn your pot, it must be centered first, so that all the sides will be even. So I'll show you with this one. It's easy. With the experience I've got, it's easy to center it. So it's centered, and then what I take my turning tool. Always your foot must have a, what can I say, good proportions. The size of the pot and the foot, they must be proportioned. So what I do, I start turning. But always it's nice to have a small foot than a big foot on a small pot. So it gives your pot nice proportions. And then it's very easy. Always when turning, you have to bear in mind that you know your thickness and then how much you take off. So, and also the weight of your pot. You must know the weight of your pot. It mustn't be too heavy. And also it mustn't be too light, because if it's too light, when you fire it, it warps. So it must have a reasonable weight. So this is how I do it. After that, I just always make sure that it doesn't leave sharp edges. So I just run my turning tool so that I just round the rim, and then that's how and this one is finished. Take a short here, ready. Yeah, this is the last one, so I've finished turning. So what I will do, I will show you how to decorate. So there's so many ways to decorate your pots. So I will show you some, and then depending on how you decorate. So what I will do, I'll use an underglaze for the base, and then I'll do different techniques. Okay, so for now, always try to leave your pots covered so that they don't get dry so much. So what I want to do now, I've got an underglaze which I will use, and this is terracotta. It's a terracotta underglaze. I want to paint on top, and then some I will scratch, some I will press. So just watch and see. This is how I do it. And also, when decorating, it depends. Like, there are some of the designs which are like complicated, which will take your time, and then it depends with the market you target. But as beginners, mostly we target people who stay close by. So we always try to not to take too long. Try not to take too long on your design, and then that will be much better. So all of them I'll have to use terracotta. Terracotta, it's a nice color. It's a nice color. It's a nice color. And also you have to know your colors. You have to know if you fire them at a high temperature, how the end will look. And also if it's earthenware, you have to know all that. Because if the more you fire them high, the darker they become. So it's some of the things you have to know. And these bowls, you can use them for cereal. I think it's a good size for cereal. Can use them for cereal. Okay. Yeah. Oh, let me yeah. I'll leave one and then I'll do something else on that another one. So all right. Now I'll have to use this swivel and then same. Right, it's centered, and then what I want to do on this one is just I want to put some lines. So like this one, it's simple and easy. You can make hundreds of these. Just paint and then you scratch. Depending on what you want to scratch, you can scratch double lines, you can scratch like differentiating them like these lines, and then after that it's finished. You let it dry and then you just dip it into a clear glaze. It will come like perfect. And this one. And then this one, what I want to do with this one is like so what I'll do, I'll have to decorate just in the middle here. So that's what I will do with this one. So this is like a simple design which you just scratch, like this. No, mostly simple designs are much better because they don't take time. It's just a matter of like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're done. So this is a simple design which you can do. As long you know exactly what you are doing. Like mostly I'm inspired by like our African designs. So I just pick from different cultures and then mix them, and then there comes a design. So you just design. So voila, this is done. You see? As I said before, when decorating, like what I do is whatever comes into my mind, I just put it straight on the pot, but my designs, I repeat my designs. So like now, I am using this hacksaw blade for scratching. So I scratch, and then leave a gap. And then I leave a gap. Like what I'm doing now. I scratch, I leave a gap, I scratch, leave a gap right round, and then in these gaps, I'll have to do something so that it looks nice. So I continue doing the same thing. And also, always I try to make my designs simple and easy and quick to do them. It helps you, like when you're doing a lot of things. Let's say maybe someone wants about 500 of those bowls. So for 500, you need to do them quick. And also, depending on how much you charge per your pot. So I always think it's wiser to make simple designs but nice designs, which you can do much easier, much quicker. And also, depending on which market you are targeting, like where are you going to sell your product? If you sell your product, like normally first we start selling our products where we stay. People don't have enough money to buy like expensive things. So you make simple things which you can charge less. And then you must have two to three types of your work. Like the other one is for those like cheap, which you can produce much quicker, and then the other one is for medium class, and then the other one for expensive ones. So kuya ka uri wena o batla ho etsa o batla ho rekisela mang. So it's much wiser to target market o e bonang kuri wena this market you can make some money. So I finished this one, so I'll have to do some scratching on these gaps which I've left. So on these gaps where which I have left. So what I will do, I'll have like I scratch here, I scratch. It's just a simple design. A simple design, just it's much easier and it's quick. Also, and then like my designing tools, most of them I just pick things and then I use them like for my decorations. So that's what I do. I always repeat my designs. See? After that, I jump this space and then I'll do it again here. Yeah, this is another design I normally make. And I just use a stick which I've shaped it into triangles. So I just press, like keep on pressing right round this bow. You can see how I do it. These are the designs I'm normally known for, like the African designs. Like, oh, and then, so I just keep on like making them. So when I finished making this design, the way I will glaze it, I will have to wash it with an underglaze so that the underglaze goes into these designs. And then I wipe it and then I glaze inside and then that's all. It's much easier and quick, and also it will look nice. Today I will show you how to coiling pots. Coiling is a tradition which has been there for years. Like in our culture, it's a technique which is passed from mother to daughter, going onwards. But coiling was a technique normally which was used by women to make pots for carrying water, for cooking, for drinking beer, on and on. So now we coil these pots just for decor. We make pots by coiling for decor. Some we use them, some are just for displaying. So today I will show you how you coil. And then this is one of the pots I've done. I've done it sometime, but it's still not finished yet. So I'll show you how to coil, how to decorate, and then how to burnish, and also how you smoke fire these pots. When coiling, what you do, you take a lump of clay and then you put it on a wheel normally, but you can just use a bat and then you'll be turning it manually with your hand. So, but then I'm using this turntable. So what you do, you put your lump of clay and then you start pressing it in the middle, like squashing it, right? You keep on like making your base like this. You press it in the middle until you have got your shape. It's like it's almost deep, and then you start making your walls. And then like this. And then I've got some tools I've made from buckets. The tools they already like easy. I call it a kidney. So like a cutter bucket, those plastic buckets. So I use it, and I've got different size. So I use it to smoothen kamohar in the inside. I smoothen in the inside. And also on the outside to raise the tsupa godimo. So coiling is very interesting, and for me, Aki coiler, I feel like I enjoy it. I feel like I'm working. I'm like it's a feeling I can't I can't explain, because I enjoy it very much. So this is how I start my pots. This is how I start my pots. I coil 2 pots at a time. So when coiling, to coil 2 pots at a time is to wait for it to harden first, and then before I put another coil on top. So I make 2 pots, and then when it's leather hard, and then I do the other one. I put the coil. So I put a coil on and then wait for it to harden and then do another one. So I'll be working like this, like going sideways, like 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is how I do it. So I'll have to wait for this one to harden. and then I'll have to cut it and then put it aside. Then I do the other one. This is that's how I do it. So when coiling, like when you start coiling, the first piece you make, it must be a little bit thicker so that it can hold the weight of coils. So the first ones, I make them a little bit thicker, and then going up, it'll be like thin, until I finish it. So I will wait for these ones to be leather hard, and then so that I can add another coil. So what I will make here, I will make ukamba. It's a Zulu drinking pot, Zulu beer pot. So that's what I will make. Now that my bases are leather dry, so I'll put the coils and then start building. First, I wipe my table and then take a piece of clay. Then I start making some coils. So that's how I make my coil. As it is at the bottom, always my coils, I make them thick so that I can pinch them. Yeah. Then you scratch. First you scratch. Then you just wet it a little bit. It acts like a bonding liquid. So what I do, I hold my coil like this, and then I look straight from the top. Always, it must be on the center, so that if it's not centered, your pot, you'll find it that one side comes out, the other side doesn't come out. So always coil looking from the top. So I place my coil and then I start pinching, joining it like this. This is how I do it. And then I put an extra and then I join it. Right, and then I start pinching. Start pinching. Just I always try to make my sides even because it's handwork. Normally it's not like it's thrown on the wheel. So then I take my kidney and then I work from the inside. I work from the inside. Always, when building, I always clean the inside because when I close it, my hand won't be able to go inside. So always try to clean it in the inside. So it's like this, and then I start pulling the clay up. I'm trying to make it even. So this is how I do it. Then just from the inside, I just push it from the inside and then I balance it from the outside. So you work on a pot until you are satisfied about your thickness and the form you are making. So I think I'm all right. It's going in the right direction. So what I will do, right, so I will wait for it to get dry so that I can add another coil on top. So I'll do the next one. So it's a routine. It's like you wait, you add, you wait until you finish your pot. That's how you coil. Because if I can add a coil whilst it's like this, it will collapse because it won't be able to hold the weight of a coil because it's still too wet. And then it's the same. I scratch. Stretch, and then I make my coils. Still do the same thing. I wet it a little bit so that when I place the coil, it will stick. And then from the top, just press, press, press. Join it from the outside. And the inside. And just pinch. I wet the inside. At least today it's hot, and then it will be much quicker to build. And also, like when you are building it whilst you are looking at it from the top. So sometimes it helps when you're finished, you just move aside and then you look at it from a distance and then seeing how your form is doing. So that's how you coil. Yeah, it's coming right. Now that I've completed my forms, now I have to shape them. So when shaping, still I have to mark where I want to take off some clay so that it ends up with a nice foot. So what I do, it helps sometimes, like I use these blades, so I just stretch. I just scratch and then just stretch until you get to the mark. And also, I am reducing the weight of the pot. So because the size of the pot and the weight must be the same. then yeah. Now that it's now finished. So as it is, it's now ready for decorating. So what I'll do, normally I don't decorate the whole pot. I just decorate a section. So I can choose, okay, I can decorate on the shoulders, yeah. So what I do, I just mark, I put some lines, and then I make the space which I want to use, like the way it is, and then I'll have to start decorating. Marking where I want to work from. Just put a line there. Right, and then another one. Right, and then I start decorating, and then I'll decorate this part. This is where I want to decorate. Then what I want to do is I want to scratch where I want to decorate so that the design will come out. Ha ke etsa so ke scratcher ke batla hore ha ke decorator design ya ka e khone ho bonahala because go tla ba le contrast. So it's very important for how decorate, and then so ke tla etsa like the whole pot. I scratch until, yes, and then I start decorating, and then I know exactly what I want to do. And then this is like this. See. See. Right. And then I do other side. So what I do, I will like turn that side, and then So now that I have finished decorating and then they are now dry, so what I will do now, I will show you how to burnish. So when burnishing, most of the people, some use a spoon whilst it's still leather hard. But for me, I wait for them to be dry and then burnish. So what I do is I use cooking oil. I apply cooking oil where I want to burnish. I apply cooking oil, and then at this part which I have decorated, I don't burnish it. I just leave this part and then do on the other side. I apply cooking oil. I apply cooking oil and wait for it to sink. So I wait for it to sink in the pot, and then I've got these gemstones I use to burnish. So when burnishing, I use these gemstones. So I hold it like this and then start burnishing. So burnishing is making the surface smooth and shiny. So that's how I burnish.
One more.
Yeah. So I burnish the whole pot right round, and then when burnishing, where you have burnished, you mustn't touch with your hands, because when you touch this place where you have burnished, it will leave finger marks, so fingerprints. So you won't see them whilst it's not yet fired. So when fired, it will show some fingerprints. So always try to avoid holding where you have burnished. So that's why I just hold it like this and then I burnish. You can see where I've burnished. It's very smooth and shiny. So you do the whole pot and then you fire it. do the whole pot and then you fire it. Now that I've finished burnishing, so I'll have to fire these pots to 900 so that the burnishing won't go. So I have to make sure that I don't touch where I've burnished. So I just touch here where there's designs. Okay. Yeah. And that's it. So I will wait. So I switch on my kiln. There. I set it on 900. And then on. Switch on, and then there we go. So I'll have to wait until it's finished, and then after that I'll do the smoke firing, where I will use some card boxes and paper just for the smoke firing. Today I'm opening the kiln and then I'm doing the smoke firing. So I just want to see how they came out, and then I start doing the smoke firing. Yeah, they came out nice. Yeah. So now I take this outside for smoke firing. So I have to pack my pots and then I start firing. So the more I put a lot of papers, the darker they become. So I don't want them to be very dark. I want them to be like a little bit lighter. So I won't use a lot of papers. Let's put, right. And then now I have to polish it. I have to polish it whilst it's still warm, so that the polish will be as a seal. You seal it with polish, and then after that you can shine it. So I use Cobra polish just to polish it. So I put polish and then leave it to cool down a bit, and then I apply another layer of polish. After that, I take a dry cloth and then start polishing it. So this one is done. I'll take another one and then do the same until they are finished, and then it's done. And now I'm polishing this pot. This is the last stage. So I just take a dry cloth and then I start polishing it. Just taking off the wax I've put here. So this is how I do it. So I make sure that I polish every part where I've put some wax, so that it leaves the shine, as you can see it. Yeah. So this is an end product. You can see it's shining and it's beautiful. The only mistake I've done is I didn't sign it below. Always when you have finished baking a pot, whilst it's still soft, always put your signature underneath, and then you continue with everything. Thank you. Yeah, so today the balls are out, so I have to glaze them. So when glazing, always you have to make sure that your hands are clean, you don't have any oil on your hands. So first thing when glazing, you have to wash your hands. And then after that, and then you can start to glaze. So today I'm glazing these balls, and then what I do, first I glaze in the inside. So I pour my glaze in the inside, and then after that I just pour it outside and then take it out, just like that. And then you put it aside to do the next one. Swirl it, and then put it aside. Yeah. So that's how you glaze, and then you wait for some minutes so that your glaze is hard, and then you start wiping. Right, and then you need it. So what you need is where there's no glaze, you can just add, because this is transparent, it's not a problem. You just add. After that, you have to smoothen it so that it's not overglazed. So after that, you wash your hands. And you wash it this way like that, and then you take off this glaze on the outside. Just wipe. Just wipe. Just wipe it clean. Always make sure that it's clean. And underneath also, you clean your face, and then it's done. And then you just take off that ridge inside there. And that's it. Then just start packing your kiln. So that's how you do it. Always make sure that it's clean. Okay. So you do that's how you do it until you are finished. And then you close your kiln and then you switch it on. Today I just want to see how my pots came out. So it's cold, and then wow, they came out nice. Yes, yeah, I think they came out nice. So as I said before, when making pots, okay, which market are you targeting? Like how it's the bowls say. These are the fast and easy, and as Nam 7 so it's just quick. Make them very quick and then you're dead. So as you can see, they came out nice. You just work out the outside and then that's it. Simple design outside and then you glaze inside and that's it. Okay. Then so shoot it up. This is all I've done. So this came out nice. This came out nice also. And then these pots are like already it's electricity. It's simple. What the coiler and then we're going to shita ka home. So these are very easy. So I think that's all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. We'll meet again on the next episode. Thank you.